Hello, Don in London. February 26th, 2009. My video is all about recovery from addiction to either substance or behaviour. My substance, alcohol; my behaviour, try to be perfect, workaholic, never perfect. Still tendency to be an all-round giver and not really understanding much of some things in life. I'm just a learner. And recovery, every day I learn a little bit more experience, strength and hope how to go on, and the wisdom to find the right path. And for me, the right path is always one day long, or even shorter when I don't know quite what's going on. So at the moment, for me, many changes to do with my recovery, type 1 diabetes management and clinical depression conditions. And I'm doing the best I can, and that's to live in the day, make the most of what I have, don't be isolated, find inclusion in life. And for me, fellowship has provided me with a way to find wisdom and be a part of society again. And the fellowship I go to is Alcoholics Anonymous. I don't speak for AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, ever. I speak for myself. But I do refer to the literature and what the program does for me, the fellowship does for me. At the beginning of every meeting I go to, this preamble is shared just to tune me in now and get me into the moment of now. Here it is. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution, does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. And what I know of the programme is it's helped me to remain a unique, authentic person, that is, to be me on a daily basis, finding out who I am as I go along. Unique and authentic. Most, if not everyone, stays. We learn a bit more about sobriety and what sobriety means to us. And for me, it's become a bit of a journey, and it's only one day long. So if I try and make it any longer than that, I'm in danger of maybe dreaming too far ahead, or retrying to make what was my history, the good of my history, maybe possible again, rather than actually understanding where I am today. And the program, if you like, of AA is a self-healing process where we can lean on a fellowship which is full of wisdom, experience, strength and hope just on a daily basis. So if I have my ears open enough, I hear new things which I can do, utilise, take on board, and also discard those things which are not helpful to me. And as people who are in the fellowship know, we start to learn how to live life all over again, sometimes for the first time, taking account of other people and the choices we can make when we are engaging in their company. So for me, it's not an easy process. I mean, life is difficult, as a particular author, M. Scott Peck, said. And I haven't read his book, but the actual first sentence, life is difficult, sums it up, so I'm told. And I don't often read books all the way through these days. Simply, I refer to them to see if I can get some wisdom from them. And one of the ones I use is daily reflections on a daily basis. But before I do that, 12 steps of action in the action program of AA. So the 12 personal steps, if you like, to make life a little bit easier as we go along. And the action program of 12 steps is done at a pace which suits an individual. It's not there to be, you're not there to be processed through it. It's about living experiences which mean these steps of action, which is about changing attitude and behaviour, have to have some meaning in our life circumstances. So it's not an educational thing as such, although reading the books will give us a clue. It's about having life experience which makes these steps work in reality. And for me, reality is the true spiritual connection to living in the now, as it is often said, being able to experience the truth of now without all the denials and filters that have been put into me over the years. The I can't believe it's like this, and what about me, and the obsessions and the selfishness, rather than seeing the bigger picture of life and how we can be just a part of it, not the major player, but just one of the actors maybe. Not acting, but living. So I have to correct myself as I go. The 12 Steps and 12 Traditions in this blue book, it's February, and step 2 is all about, as it says here, came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. And the power greater than me is the collective wisdom of humanity, and being able to plug into it and see the truth of now. Trying not to deny things about myself and my situation, not trying to apply filters which will take the edge off some of the more uncomfortable moments that we have to live through. And in this step here, came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity, it says, what can we believe in? Whatever we want to, or come to understand. AA does not demand belief. 12 steps are only suggestions. Anything in the program is simply a suggestion. We make up our mind whether it's useful or not. Importance of an open mind, and the more open-minded I am, the more information I can gather to make good choices. Varieties of faith. Whatever your faith is your faith. You need not change it to suit somebody else. We learn the faith which works for us, the faith of living. Substitution of AA as a higher power. Well, there's so much experience, strength and hope in the people in the fellowship. I can learn and garner more information and understanding than I ever would if I were to live it out and try to do it all myself. Plight of the disillusioned. How disillusioned were we when we got to AA? And how is it, after a little while of sobriety, that the disillusionment with our situation becomes more of an understanding that we do still have choices in how we live. Roadblocks of indifference and prejudice. I don't know anybody who gets to AA without a few prejudices, mostly against themselves. Lost faith found in AA. Again, it's your personal faith which is important to you, whether you believe in people, God, truth, love, whatever it is, it's your faith. And then problems of intellectuality and self-sufficiency. We're taught to put on a brave face, get there first, be the best. And sometimes all we need to be is ourselves. And then life sort of works and we find happiness. Negative and positive thinking. Well, thinking got me into my alcoholism, and my best feelings today, the things I'm learning, spiritual, emotional and physical well-being in a fellowship. Emotional well-being is far better than my old thinking. My old thinking was about willpower and having to break habits, be in control of. And my feelings these days are, I feel like I don't have to have a drink today, so maybe I won't, and I get to bed sober. Self-righteousness, well, haven't we all got that? Defiance is an outstanding characteristic of alcoholics. Yes, I'm a very defiant person still. I still want to do my diabetic management myself, my clinical depression management myself, but I can't do it on my own. I just learn on a daily basis I can't do that. So step 2 is a rallying point to sanity. Right relation to God, or good conscience, or God is truth, God is love, God works through people. Whatever you choose God to mean to you as a higher power is what is important. To know that we are able to keep on learning from our mistakes or from our life experiences and place them in context. That is the right relation to ourselves and humanity for me. And this rallying point to sanity, and I've gone on and I haven't even looked at the other books yet. The rallying point to sanity for me, how sane was I all those years of drinking, taking the edge off, trying to be perfect in work, trying to be perfect in my relationships. What is important these days is just to find a bit of serenity. Serenity doesn't mean it's always going to be happy and peaceful. Serenity is acceptance of the status quo. And when that serenity prayer is broken down, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. It's acceptance of what I cannot change and how it affects me emotionally, having courage to change the things I can and how that affects me, and the wisdom to learn the difference is so often done in the company of other people. Isolated and on my own, I don't have much of a chance, but accepting what I can change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference must be it for me, just for today.